Hi, this is Tyler from Simcoe Gases. On today's Tech Talk, we're going to be going over how we clean draft beer lines. First, we're going to start off by filling up our cleaning jugs with water and our caustic cleaning chemical and making sure we have the right kegs for the appropriate amount of lines that they have here. As you can see, they have 7 kegs here that we're going to clean. We're now going to take each one of these keg couplers off and hook them up to our cleaning jugs. So we're going to take our first keg off here by lifting the handle and turning it counterclockwise, removing the coupler, and then attaching it to our cleaning jug. After we have all of our couplers hooked up to our cleaning jugs, we're going to go down the line and push each one of these pins up. That way at the end, all the lines will completely empty and leave no chemical inside of the lines. Now that we have all of our cleaning jugs hooked up in the fridge, we're going to come out here to the tower and pour each one of these taps off. What we're watching for here is for the beer to change over to chemical. Once it does, you really don't need to pour too much off. We just want the chemical to start sitting inside of the line. Now what we're looking for here is the beer to change over to our caustic chemical. The best way for us to know that is it's going to go from a beer color like this into a clearer color. You'll see that happen right about now. Now that we can see the clear chemical coming out, we'll shut our tap off. Do that to every single one of these taps and then make our way back into the fridge. So now that we have all of our lines filled with our caustic chemical, we're going to come back into the fridge and make sure all of these fobs have been completely bled off and all these fobs are filled with chemical. This helps clean the inside of the fob and also keeps the drain lines clean. So we go down the line until we have a little bit of bleed from each one. Then once all of our fobs are full of chemical, we're going to disconnect each one of these keg couplers so they stop pouring out at the bar end, and then we're going to make our way out to the bar and start disassembling the faucets. So now that we have all of our lines filled up with our caustic chemical, we're going to come back out, open all the taps, let them drain out. Now it's time to start disassembling all these faucets and giving them a good scrub on the inside. So now we're going to disassemble this faucet here. Pretty easy, just loosen both of these threads on each side. Handle comes off. There's an inside plunger here, which we completely disassemble. We're going to take this to the sink, use our faucet brush, and give us a good clean on the inside. This can be done in many different ways. Some guys do it in the sink. Some people prefer to have a bucket of water. To each their own. Now that this tap or faucet is nice and clean, we can put it back together, and it's time to reassemble it and put it back on our draft tower. Another thing we often do before putting the faucet back onto the tower is check this little faucet washer inside of the tap. Leaks can be created from inside of here, so we always make sure that this guy's in good condition. Now that we've disassembled all of our faucets and cleaned them and put them back on, we're going to make our way back into the fridge, reconnect all of our keg couplers, make our way back out to the bar end, and pour them all off until they're completely empty. What we'll do then is completely fill them back up with plain water, do a water rinse of the system, and then it's time to hook our kegs back up. Now that our lines have been completely rinsed with water and no chemical left in them, we're going to make our way back into the fridge, disconnect each one of these keg couplers, and hook them back up to the kegs that they were hooked up to before. We'll fill up our fobs, making sure all the water and chemical is out of there as well. Pull down these pins, and it's time to go out to the bar and pour our beer back. So now that all of our lines have been cleaned, water rinsed, and are ready to be hooked back up to beer, we've hooked all of our kegs back up in the fridge, and it's time to start bringing beer back to the tap. I usually like to do one tap at a time. Like so. As you can see, all of these taps have now changed over to their original beer that they were hooked up to before. This one wasn't pouring because we obviously have an empty keg in the fridge, so we're going to make our way back in there and change that keg now for them. So now that we have all of our beers back pouring again, it's sometimes wise to do a quick glass check, like we call it, just to make sure you don't have any beer stone particles or anything floating inside of your line. As you can see, she's crystal clear. Thanks again for watching this video on how we clean draft beer lines. If you have any other ideas on videos, please email us. Also, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.